Welcome to the two-piece series called Seeing Double. In this series, we will show you how to use your supplies to create both a layout and a bonus project. I'm Garden Girl Jen Gallagher, and today I wanted to show you how you can stretch the use of doilies to create both a layout as well as some fun gift bags. So I wanted to show you some doily products. Doilies range anything from stamps to pre-die cut shapes. You can also cut them from your Silhouette digital die cut machine, or you can also incorporate other additional doilies. This is a shape doily that I recently purchased at a dollar store. So there will be lots of products in here that use doilies, and I will go ahead and link you to all the doilies within the two-piece store. Be sure to check out all the things they have to offer that are doily shaped. Let's go ahead and start with making the layout. And the first thing that I am going to use are some file folders from Teresa Collins. And these file folders are perfect in that you can cut them, which is what I'm going to do, or you can leave them as they are, and you can tuck in additional shapes, photos, journaling, whatever you want. And that just helps add a little bit more dimension and interest to your page, as well as provides a great place for hiding maybe more personalized journaling. So we'll go ahead and adhere that there. Then I'm going to use a secondary file folder, and this one has a different inside. This white book-lined one was the same. This one is different, and we'll go ahead and cut this as well. And the reason why I've chosen to cut these is because I'm going to use these later, and I didn't want to waste them because I'm not using pockets on this particular layout. So we're going to slightly overlap the first die cut folder. And then we'll add some little word strips to it, also from the Teresa Collins die cut collection. And these are double-sided, so they give you a lot of different options. And I'm going to go ahead and add a tidbit from October Afternoon in pink. This particular project is going to have some pink, and it's going to have some teal as well as some craft cardstock in the back. And we'll just add some of those tabs to the top of those words. So you could also stamp or write a phrase in there as desired. Now, something fun that I wanted to do is I wanted to layer both a regular doily, which is a heart shape, as well as this die cut Teresa Collins doily. Now, real doilies are quite fragile, so when you're adding adhesive, be very gentle with them. We'll do this one a little bit off-centered, and then I'm going to wait to put this on because I want to add some photos first. And what I did is I used my home printer to attach 3 photos that I selected and changed to black and white that I'm going to add to this project. And because I print at home, they have a special coating on the back, and so they don't allow me to add regular dot runner adhesive, which is why I use glue dots. So I think I'm going to place it about there. So we'll go ahead and attach this doily right at the top there. And I just want a little bit of it peeking through. So those file folders made a great frame for my photos. This is some pattern paper from My Mind's Eye. It has journaling cards on the one side, but the teal matched the teal in the Teresa Collins collection. And I want to add a border strip at the bottom, which I have pre-punched. It's a scalloped one. American Crafts and several other manufacturers make great border punches. If you don't have border punches, but you have a digital Silhouette machine, you can also cut these from there as well. And we'll just adhere that there at the bottom. Then this is some pattern paper from Studio Calico. It's from their 6x6 paper pad, and I hand cut following the triangular shape in this particular pattern paper. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere that right there. And then before I go any further, rather than do actual journaling on my page, I'm going to stamp a sentiment on there. And I selected a sentiment that goes well with this particular page. And I'm going to use some brown stamping ink. And then depending on your stamp, you'll need an acrylic block, or if you have a wooden stamp, it will come with its own block. So let's go ahead and stamp that. And this ink is just a little bit dark tan, so it barely shows up, and it says life is better with friends. And I'll link you to some fun phrases. You can see here at the bottom how it looks. Alright, I want to add some little pennant banners. I have this Eiffel Tower one that I cut the top off just slightly so it fits this bottom section. And we'll adhere that right there. And then I'm going to add one from Studio Calico, which was in that same soft pink, and this one has a feather on it. So don't be afraid to mix and match to get exactly what you want. Alright. Now I'm going to add a border strip across the center of this page, and I'm going to add another doily stamp to it. Now, as you can see, this is my Mind's Eye stamp set. It has several doily stamps. I'm going to use the circle stamp here. And I'm going to use white stamping ink from Hero Arts. It's a great color, and it's really, really subtle, which is exactly what I want for this particular page. So you place the stamp onto the acrylic block, and then I'm going to stamp one on each edge. And if you find the white doesn't show up, which I'm finding on this particular layout, then I'm going to go ahead and use a tone that's similar to the pattern paper, which is this tan color again. Ink up the stamp. You could also have embossed it if that's what you prefer. So you can see how it creates a nice doily image. So that's one way to incorporate doilies into your layout. Alright, let's go ahead and put this across the page. And this is some paper from my little shoe box. We want to center that. And then I have two pink buttons that I have tied with pink twine. And I'll go ahead and add that to the center of each doily. And then I'm going to add some washi tape from Bella Boulevard in a salmon pink, which is the same tone as this particular pink. And you could add whatever color you want, or you can even add some pattern paper if that's what you prefer. And then I'll add a little bit from an old American Crafts washi tape roll. You can look for similar colors, just look for aqua or tan in the two-piece store. Then I have these little tidbits from Elle's Studio that I'm going to add. One right there. And we'll do one above it. And you can move them and manipulate them how you want. And I selected ones that were the same tone as the rest of this layout. Now for something fun, I have some pattern paper that I'm going to punch some hearts out of, and they are little tiny hearts, and I punched them out of some new Pebbles pattern paper, and I'm going to adhere just one of those to the Elle's Studio circle right there, and then I will add some at the bottom of the layout just above the journaling. One on the page and one off the page. So let's go ahead and add our title to the layout. So I've cut the title using my Silhouette machine, and I'm going to use a glue pen and just glue the back of the cut so that I can adhere it directly to the layout on top of that washi tape. So just go ahead and paint that back title. You could also do this with letter stickers or however you like to do it. And make sure, sometimes I have added the adhesive on the wrong side of the die cut. Make sure that you add it on the right side. And just, you can use the actual grid in this particular washi tape, or you can use whatever guide you want to make sure that you get your title exactly straight. This title says A Series of Moments because this was a dance that my daughter went to when she was younger. And it's amazing how fast time goes. She's 16 now, and these pictures make me a little sad. So there we've added the title. Now you can see I've added a little bit, a half-inch circle that has been cut in half. It's rather a 2-inch circle that's been cut in half, and that is from some Echo Park paper, Happy Little Moments. And I'm going to add some of these. These are from a white collection, but I'm going to use these brownish gray dots, and we'll adhere them here just to give it a little bit of texture. So there you have the layout, and I want to show you how you can use doilies as an additional item on gift bags. And I have purchased some gift bags from the store that are from Whisker Graphics, and I'm going to use these craft ones today. And these can be filled with candy or whatever you want. And the first one, if I had filled with candy or a small gift, I'm going to fold over the top. And then I'm going to place the doily at the top and fold it over. And then I'm only going to add adhesive in that half circle section. And then because I already had all of the supplies out, I'm going to use some additional elements from the Teresa Collins collection. You can also staple that closed if you prefer, so it's a little stronger. And this is the Remember pennant. Just go right across the top there. And then I have some pink pattern paper from Pebbles, and I'm going to add another doily stamp to this one. And I'm going to use that tan ink again. I'll go ahead and ink that up. Right there. And then I'm going to notch the two ends by gently folding it over and cutting in. And we'll adhere that across the center of the bag. And at this point you could add some additional twine if you wanted to, or you can just leave it plain. And then you could put that additional die cut shape in the middle. I want to add a little bit of twine, and I'm just going to use some natural looking twine. There are a lot of twine colors in the store, and I'll point you to some that I think would work well for this project. And I'll just wrap it around a few times, re-adhere it, just centering it. Then I'm going to tie that into a bow. And now I'll add this My Favorite die cut from Elle Studio right in the center there. And then to show you another way you can do it, this one I would leave open, and this time I will use the smaller die cut shape found on the Teresa Collins die cut sheet. So I've used real doilies, stamped doilies, and a couple of other things. And then again, I'll take that pink paper from Pebbles and I'll notch the ends. This is a great way to make sure your notches are even on both sides. And I'll adhere that across the center of the die cut doily. And this time I won't add any twine or anything. And I'm going to add this So Sweet, but I'm going to pop dot a little bit. So I'm just going to add some adhesive dots on the back, just to give it a little bit of dimension. So a lot of different ways that you can incorporate doilies onto your page. And while your supplies are out, go ahead and make a gift bag or a card using these same things. Thank you for joining me for today's Seeing Double tutorial. Look for a new tutorial each Friday. Be sure to visit the 2Ps website for the complete supply list for creating these projects, as well as additional project suggestions, photographs, and tips and tricks for stretching your supplies.